I read 8 books in June. I had such an amazing reading month and found some gems, so I have to tell you guys about them. Okay, first I read Normal Women by Philippa Gregory, and I learned so much from reading this. So glad that I picked this up because it is such an important read. This book is about the millions of normal women who have been doing extraordinary things in history over the past 900 years. These are the stories of the women that didn't make it into the history pages, women who were writers and inventors and soldiers and farmers. So much of our history has been led and told by men that so many women's stories have been completely forgotten and overlooked, and this is a dedication to all of those amazing women. When you read this, you really grasp the fact that in every moment in time in history, women have been working and protesting and fighting for women's rights. Because this is researched and real history, there are some trigger warnings in this because some very disturbing topics are talked about in this book, which is extremely hard to read, but also very important. A heads up because it can be really emotional to have to read. Learned so much, and I think that this should be mandatory reading. The next book I read was 8 Pages by Hyena, and I loved this book so much. I would describe this as a rock star romance, and I can tell you guys, I have never read anything quite like this before. It was such a refreshing romance book. It was genuinely one of a kind in so many ways. The plot, the characters, even the way that the book is set up, like the way you read it, is so cool because it is like already annotated in, and all these doodles are in it, and it gave it such a different feel. It was so fun to read. Story follows Winter, who owns her own bookstore, and she discovers this vintage magazine which she opens and realizes that it pulls her back into time. It's essentially like a time travel machine. Each page takes her to the same day but in a different year. She gets thrown back into time. She meets this aspiring and currently broke musician named Aaron. She finds out the dark reality of the future of the road he is going down. She has 8 chances to change his fate without telling him. Such a fantastic read. Definitely my favorite romance book I've read this year so far. I loved the storytelling. I loved all of the little annotations. It kept me so engaged. Such an easy 5-star read for me. I love it so much. Next book I read was Life in Soviet Georgia by Buba Kudave and Jeffrey Gosby. There are 70 different stories of Georgian citizens who lived under the Soviet Union under communism. There are 70 stories for the 70 years that the USSR existed. I'm Georgian. My family is from Georgia. And when I say Georgia, I mean the country in Eurasia, not the state in the United States of America. A lot of people don't know that there's a country called Georgia. We are a very small country. We border Turkey, Armenia, the Black Sea. So that is the Georgia that this book is about. These 70 stories come from personal experiences of authors living in the USSR. Now we are called Georgia, but we used to be under the USSR, which stands for Union of Soviet Social Republics. And you read these stories, you very much understand that that name was a complete deception. It was all lies, all control, all propaganda. There was so much fear, violence, there was so much death. These stories really show the truth of what life was like living in Soviet Georgia. It hit very close to home. It was really emotional to read, but I also learned so much. Any of my history lovers, I think you will really find this interesting. Okay, the next book I read was The Grey Rose by Zara, and so excited to show you guys this. This is called Dear Stranger, and this is a bi-monthly bookish mail club. Every 2 months you get a short story which changes in themes and genre. So this story follows Sifa, who is recruited as an assassin by this very powerful emperor. So you get a new story every 2 months, which is so cool. It was so fun to read. You get a newspaper that is related to the short story. Cutest thing ever. This side is like an introduction to the mail club. The back side gives you a background and an idea of what the story is going to be about. Also get an art print that has to do with the story. I'm obsessed. And then you get another page. There's different activities where I'm telling you guys, I had the best time experiencing this whole thing. As a subscriber, you get a new experience every time you get an envelope. Being able to like open these different little things not knowing what it's gonna be at the best time, and I cannot wait to open the next one. The link in my bio, definitely check it out because it was so fun. Next book I read was Trans Central Station by Rachel Pollack. This is an essay that reflects on a trans life lived before the language to name it. Today we have names for all the different gender identities and sexualities. Back then we didn't. Rachel talks about everything: personal memory, myths, science fiction, history, showing that trans people have always existed. Rachel is a very progressive voice in the transgender community. So eye-opening to read from her perspective, and something that I find is very sacred and special to be able to read. One of the best things that you can do is read from all different perspectives. Educating yourself and really seeking to try to understand is one of the most beautiful things you can do. I definitely recommend. And of course, happy Pride, everybody. Next book is Travel with Style by Anastasia Pash, and as a fashion girly, as a travel girly, this gets my stamp of approval. I love this book so much because it mixed two of my loves, which is fashion and travel, in a book form, and I was like, this is perfect for me. This book is all about mastering the art of style while traveling. She shares her methodology about how she packs, what she packs when she travels to different places. Talks about discovering and curating your travel capsule, about curating outfits that make sense for your style. She gives you a style guide of the top 20 most popular travel destinations. For each of these travel destinations, it is so cool because she specifies the climate, the culture, comfort, which fabrics to bring. Currently, I am living in London for the summer, but within that time traveling to 5-6 different countries, and it's so helpful for me because every single place that I'm going is in the book. It's been so helpful for me to have that information. For my fellow travelers out there, you are going to love this book. Next book I read was Ancient History Between Us by Caitlin Hill. The ultimate summer read. It takes place in Italy, which I love. It follows two best friends who grew up together, but after a first kiss that happened 3 years prior, they have not spoke or had any friendship or relationship, and they both find each other in Italy for the summer because of their parents. Cami is on this mission to find her father that she has never met, and West figures out what is going on and will not let her do it alone, so they go on this journey across Italy during the summer, trying to find her father, but also trying to rebuild whatever they can from the friendship slash relationship. It's a really cute romance, but also such like a beautiful self-discovery story, and it was just a perfect summer read. Next I read Walk a Little Slower by Tanner Olson, and this is a poetry collection. You guys know I love poetry. It was such a beautiful collection of poetry. There's really writing that invites you to slow down in your life in the midst of all of the unknown and uncertainty, to not forget what this life is about, which is truly just to enjoy. It was such a beautiful essence of the poetry and such a beautiful message. Slow down, really make sure to be present in your life and enjoy the current moment. It is always a good reminder. I would definitely recommend for my poetry lovers, or if you want to get into poetry. My lovely friends, those are all of the books I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're having the best summer ever, and I will see you guys in the next video.